Hey, welcome back to edtech. Coming back to our JavaScript algorithm journey to iterate with JavaScript. Today we will be doing the do while loops. Okay, it's quite different from the while loops as we can see. Now here we have an array which is empty and initial value of I is 0. So do, that is action, our array.push I plus plus, which is incrementing by 1, and then while I less than 5, which is a condition. So initialization, action, and then condition, that is the do while. So here what happens, you will every time you add 1, so 0 plus 1, 1 plus 1, then 1 plus 1, 2, 2 plus 1, 3, 3 plus 1, 4. So when it becomes less than 5, it will stop. So that's how it takes the action. So why is it different? Because here the condition will fail on the first check in the case of I equal to 5. The second, if you're just doing the while loop, it's different from do while loop. That's what we're trying to say. So let's consider another example where initial value is 5 and while I is less than 5, our array.push I plus plus. Here the initial value of I is 5. That's the only difference. So what do you see here? While you are executing it, it will, like in this case, we are initializing the value of our array to empty array, of course, and then in this case it is I is equal to 5. So if you are just doing the while loop, what happens? It will not work because the condition, it will see the condition first and do action. But in the do while loop, the difference is it will not see the condition first. It will actually do the action first, initialize, and then look at the condition. So here it won't fail. So what happens? You are doing the same thing. Our array.push I plus plus, and then the condition I less than 5. So it will keep doing it until it works to less than 5. So the first work will be I equal to 5. Yeah. So what is happening here? Here you will get the value of initial value is I. So one action will take place, that is, it won't add anything, but I will remain there. So in the array, instead of being empty, it will add that 5, the initial value. And then when it checks the condition, oh my god, this is failing the condition. If I add further, it will become 6, I cannot do. So it will stop at 5. But if you have just done the while loop, it will remain empty. Nothing will get added. Here, the initial value gets added, and then when one value is added, it is every time the value is added, it will look at the condition, and then after adding the initial value 5, it will say, oh my god, if I add 1, it will get 6, so I cannot add anymore. So that's the difference between do while and while. While will look at the condition and then do action. Here action is done, and then so here instead of getting empty array back, we are getting the value of 5. So I hope you understood. Yeah. So you are given a task for doing the do while loop. One array is already provided, yeah, and my array should equal 10 means in the final array should have a value of 10, yeah, and it should I should also I should equal 11, yeah, and you should be using a do while loop for this exercise. So this is some code is provided here. All you need to do is to edit the code. So let's see how it is done. So it's pretty simple. Just remember the syntax, how it is done, the steps that is done, and understand. So here it's already given the value of my array is empty in the beginning. The variable I, the initial value has been provided as 10. Only change the code below this line, that is while I less than 5, my array.push I plus plus. There's something wrong here, right? Because here, as you can see, the condition is happening first, but you know that in the do while, condition happens last, action happens first. Yeah. So we need to edit this section. So instead of while I less than 5 coming here before the curly brackets, it should come after the curly brackets, if you remember, according to the do while loop syntax. So first it should be the action, which is do. Yeah. So it should be do and then action on it, my array.push I, and then after that I plus plus, and then after coming out of the curly bracket, you should do the while, which is a condition. And it shouldn't be less than 5, it should be something else. Why? It should be 10, right? Because the final value they are saying inside the curly bracket should be 11. So when you add 10 plus 1, it will be 11. So var I equals 10 So do, then my array dot push I plus plus. So initialization done with I equal to 10. Action my array dot push I incrementing I plus plus. Then come out of the curly brackets, and then you should do the while. And then while the parenthesis, inside the parenthesis, it should be I less than, come on, guess, I less than, there you go. Should it be less than 12 or 11 or 10? Keep guessing. Should it be less than 10 or 11 or 10? Mention in the comments below. Okay, so it should be obviously 10 because initial value is 10. Yeah, while I less than 10, what happens? You have to add 1 every time. That's the action, incrementing I plus plus, right? So the best part is the condition is written last. So first what will happen? It will add, it will push increment. So that means 10 plus 1, 11. So in the resultant array, it will give you 11. So let's check the result. Okay, let's run it. So I hope you understood. So every time it's incrementing. Initial value 10, 10 plus 1, 11. So final result will be 11. So the condition is 10. I hope you understood. After that, it won't action because every time it's adding, it will look at the condition. But after adding only the do while. Whereas in the while loop, before adding, it will look at the condition. That's the only difference.